stations like Fox News, especially Glenn Beck. My God, that guy has gone off the deep end, but he's starting to see the overall, picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I remember, heck, we talked about this stuff in high school, I think, even. This stuff was going on back even in the Clinton days when we were in high school. So
I know I did. I tried to get a lot of people who I talked to back in all my high school friends involved in it. Yourself, Brian Adler, a few other folks.
Yeah.
And everybody thought I was crazy.
I didn't. I thought what you were saying was making a lot of sense,
Nobody listened to me then. Oh, no, don't even pretend. Don't even try and backtrack now, Dave.
All right, yeah.
Everybody thought I was crazy talking about, and back then I thought it was the Illuminati.
Right.
And that's what I was talking about back then, was the Illuminati. And the Illuminati is basic, and Freemasonry is just one part of it.
Yeah.
That doesn't encompass the whole New World Order. And the bigger picture is actually scarier than what I had started to, see coming into focus in high school. And that, I think, I look back at that time and looking at the Illuminati and watching all of those old films that I used to have on VHS and thinking, man, that's such small potatoes compared to what's actually going on right now.
Yeah.
What's going on right now is totally detailed in the Alex Jones film, The Endgame.
Right.
Which you definitely want to look at. If you go to alexjonesvideos.com.
Yep.
He's got all of his documentaries up there. You can check it out. Check out Endgame, and that's actually, that's where the true heart of it lies. It's to build an enslavement grid.
Yeah.
And get the total U.S. populace and the total world populace enslaved, and basically under the thumb of one world government, which will be a very small group of individuals who will be setting policy for the entire planet.
Right. Right. So that's where along the lines we're going. And that's the one thing that steams me is people are still out there arguing about Democrats and Republicans. Yeah.
They're both the same. They're both the same people.
So it's one and the same animal, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
How could it's proven time and time again?
Yeah. No, I hear exactly what you're saying, and I'm going to provide some of these links that you're giving out on not only my YouTube channels. I've got 3 YouTube channels. You guys can probably check everything out on those channels, but I'll also post it on the website too.
Right.
So,
see, and here's one. This is kind of a long clip. It's about 7 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys.
Okay.
And what this does, and this is detailing what Obama wants to do in the future.
Okay.
Because he's gonna basically what's gonna be set up is a trial run to see how effective it is against quote unquote Muslim extremists. And then it's going to be rolled out to the general population. So enjoy this little bit, this video right here. Okay. And this is this one you're going to want to look for. It's called Rachel Maddow. Okay. Which I don't know if you've ever seen the Rachel Maddow show, but you have to watch it because this is one of the few programs on MSNBC, which is you and I can both agree that network swings a lot to the left.
Well, yeah, especially when you're dealing with Chris Matthews, which I enjoy immensely making fun of because he sounds like...
Chris Matthews is a joke. But you need to watch the Rachel Maddow show because it doesn't matter. She will nail a Democrat. She will nail a Republican. If she sees something wrong, it's on her show and she nails it.
Okay.
And she's one of the few Democrats on that network that can actually, that sees between the lines and doesn't actually feed off the propaganda that's being given to her. So... check out this clip from the Rachel Maddow show.
Okay.
But we begin tonight with a tale of 2 speeches, both from the same man, both from President Obama. One speech that could have been billed as a ballad to the Constitution, a proclamation of American values, a repudiation of the lawless behavior of the last presidential administration, and another speech announcing a radical new claim of presidential power that is not afforded by the Constitution and that has never been attempted in American history, even by George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. Remarkably, President Obama today made both of those speeches simultaneously. Standing inside the National Archives in front of the actual original Constitution, President Obama delivered a blistering critique of the Bush administration, in which he called their actions and their legacy literally a mess.
Our government made a series of hasty decisions. Poorly planned, haphazard approach. Too often, we set those principles aside as luxuries that we could no longer afford. Our government made decisions based on fear rather than foresight. The decisions that were made over the last 8 years established an ad hoc legal approach for fighting terrorism that was neither effective nor sustainable.
An ad hoc legal approach for fighting terrorism that was neither effective nor sustainable. Ouch. Then, moments later, he announced his own ad hoc legal approach for fighting terrorism. President Obama today proposed something new, something called prolonged detention. Doesn't sound that bad, right? Prolonged detention. Did you ever see the movie Minority Report? It was based on a Philip K. Dick short story. Came out in 2002. It starred Tom Cruise, remember? He played a police officer in something called the Department of Pre-Crime. Pre-crime is where people are arrested and incarcerated to prevent crimes that they have not yet committed.
Mr. Marks, by mandate of the District of Columbia Pre-Crime Division, I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks and Donald Duman that was to take place today, April 22nd, 0800 hours, 4 minutes. No, I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything, but you're gonna. Future murder. Creepy, right? Putting somebody in jail not for what they've done, but for what you're very sure they're going to do?
There may be a number of people who cannot be prosecuted for past crimes. In some cases because evidence may be tainted, but who nonetheless pose a threat to the security of the United States.
We're not prosecuting them for past crimes, but we need to keep them in prison because of our expectation of their future crimes.
Al-Qaeda terrorists and their affiliates are at war with the United States, and those that we capture, like other prisoners of war, must be prevented from attacking us again.
Prevented. We will incarcerate people preventively. Preventive incarceration. Indefinite detention without trial. That's what this is. That's what President Obama proposed today, if you strip away the euphemisms. One civil liberties advocate told the New York Times today, quote, "We've known this was on the horizon for many years, but we were able to hold it off with George Bush. The idea that we might find ourselves fighting with the Obama administration over these powers is really stunning." And it is stunning, particularly to hear President Obama claim the power to keep people in prison indefinitely with no charges against them, no conviction, no sentence, just imprisonment. It's particularly stunning to hear him make that claim in the middle of a speech that was all about the rule of law.
But we must do so with an abiding confidence in the rule of law. Our government was defending positions that undermine the rule of law to ensure that they are in line with the rule of law.
How can a president speak the kind of poetry that President Obama does about the rule of law and call for the power to indefinitely, preventively imprison people because they might commit crimes in the future? How can those two things coexist in the same man, even in the same speech? Well, that brings us to the self-consciously awkward, embarrassing part of this speech today. After condemning the Bush administration for what he called their ad hoc legal strategy, for trying to make things seem legal that patently weren't, this is what President Obama proposed.
My administration has begun to reshape the standards that apply to ensure that they are in line with the rule of law. We must have clear, defensible, and lawful standards for those who fall into this category. We must have a thorough process of periodic review so that any prolonged detention is carefully evaluated and justified. Our goal is to construct a legitimate legal framework for the remaining Guantanamo detainees that cannot be transferred. Our goal is not to avoid a legitimate legal framework. In our constitutional system, prolonged detention should not be the decision of any one man. If and when we determine